Okay, Jamie. Go down.
Hull have kicked off as Spurs now lead 3-0 at Swansea. Adebayo with his second, Chico Flores with an own goal as well, so the points well and truly sewn up for Tottenham in Wales.
The penalty to the Bradford Bulls, Bernard, and Hull offside, and a kick by Jan Samet to go 30 metres from the penalty. The referee, Mr. Crashley, today making his way up the league into Super League, and the Bradford Bulls driving the ball forward.
And now they come forward, as you say, with Albison, as the Bulls break just in front of the 20-metre line now, more or less dead centre. Still continuing with the run, lovely pass onto the far side, a chance for the Bulls to break just only a yard or so away from the try line now. Great start from the Bulls as Carvel, the new signing, almost charging over the line. Great chance for the Bulls to come over the line, and with only not even 2 minutes on the clock, the Bulls score with their first try. They're 4-0 up.
Yeah, the Bradford Bulls are driving the ball fast and hard forward. Carvel to the fore, all the way through, crashes his way through a ruck of Hull players. A slip pass out the side door to the supporting Bradford Bulls player, touchdown under the post. Fantastic score, great score for the Bradford Bulls, just what the doctor ordered after 35-36 seconds. Great try to the Bulls.
Well, what a tonic that is for the Bulls.
Nick Scruton scoring. Carvel driving the ball forward, slipping the pass. Two of the Bradford Bulls' best forwards, Scruton and Carvel. They're going to be dangerous in this year. Well, causing havoc in the Hull ranks.
You would think that the conversion is going to be a formality for Summit. He's not even 10 metres out for this conversion, more or less straight in front of the post.
It's Jamie Foster Bernard, actually.
My apologies. So Jamie Foster with a conversion. The Bulls 6-0 ahead.
Yeah, the Bulls 6-0 ahead, Bernard, and good stuff from the Bulls. They get a penalty, of course, after offside from Hull, but the way they've carried the ball hard and fast into the Hull defence looks very good at this stage. And again, Bernard, in the middle of January, the pitch in resplendent condition, and a great afternoon rugby league football in store. I think we're going to be a lot of points.
Do you miss the rugby in the mud?
No.
I wonder if there are people who still do, you know.
Well, I used to say I did, but when I think about it now, it was a nightmare, Bernard, an absolute nightmare.
As the Bulls come forward again with their first tackle from the kick-off, just about 12 metres from their own try line, with their second attack of the game. A wonderful start from them, leading by 6-0 against Hull FC in this first pre-season friendly. As he tried to break just to the right of centre with Albison, took a couple of Hull players to bring him down. As now the kick is placed forward by Luke Gale, takes a bounce, should be taken just inside his own try line though by the fullback for Hull, so they are now under pressure with their set of 6 tackles.
Yeah, I mentioned the pitch wasn't cut up and wasn't muddy in any way, shape or form. It hasn't been played on since last September, but he's greasy on the top runner. Jamie Shaw, the Hull fullback there, slipped twice, didn't he, allowing the Bradford Bulls defence to get up into his face. Good line speed from the Bradford Bulls. That's the chasing of the kick that allows your opponents not to get too far with their sets.
So as the sun now just begins to disappear behind a cloud overhead, we're actually struggling to see because of the sun. It was straight in our eyes, but it has disappeared, and it suddenly feels a lot colder.
It does, Bernard. It's certainly a good afternoon for rugby league football. A great afternoon to get wrapped up, come out and support your team, blow away those post-Christmas blues, and
there's a bit of weight as well,
and a little bit of weight in my case, Bernard. But
and in mine.
The Bradford Bulls playing very well so far, in control of this, and to the fore, Scruton and Carvel washing things in the centre of the field.
Summit to feed the scrum, The ball is played to the right hand side. This is a chance for, again, the Bulls to break, with Gaskell making a good run. Eventually he's hauled down. Bulls coming through the centre again with Addy. But again, this is really an encouraging start, Mark, from the Bulls. I think the handling, and just as I was about to say, the handling has been really good from the Bulls. An uncharacteristic mistake from Carville.
Well, those are the mistakes that you
Spilling
can't.
the ball.
Well, those are the mistakes you can't make in your opponent's half when you've got the ball. A poor mistake, but you put it down to ring rushiness, and those are the sorts of things that Francis Cummings will want to get out of the way in pre-season friendlies rather than in Super League, because all that hard work and getting to the right end of the field and then doing that is something you can't do week in, week out in Super League, because it gives your opponents too much advantage.
Well, it was an easy enough pass to take. He just seemed to take his eye off the ball, didn't he?
Indeed. Timing, and that's down to. There's no. You can train till you're blue in the face. There's no substitute for actual game time.
Crunching challenge coming in from the Bulls to deny Hull as they try to come over the 40-metre yard line, still inside their own territory. As the number 11 for Hull, Gareth Ellis, is held up. So still short of the halfway line, just left of centre. Hull still with it, with the number 16, Jordan Thompson, as they try to build steadily through the centre, but the Bulls line holding extremely well. The ball is kicked high into the air. Should be taken easily enough by the Bulls, and it is. And the ball goes to ground, about 15 metres out from their own try line. But with the sun out at the moment, Mark, that wasn't an easy one to take.
No, I said this sun would cause a problem to the fullbacks. So it's when the high bomb goes in, and quite frankly, whoever takes advantage of the high ball in the air whilst the sun's out will give their side a bit of an advantage. So that's a tactic we should see employed today from both coaches.
And the sun blazing again in our faces. The ball's coming forward. O'Brien laying the ball off, as the Bulls once again come forward. Again, kick down the centre, should be taken easily enough without it even bouncing. And it's with lineman. Cuts in field, held back by a couple of Bulls players. Down he goes. So the Bulls at the moment leading by 6-0 as we near the 10-minute mark here at Odsal. A bright start for Francis Cummings' side.
Good start from the Bradford Bulls, leading 6-0, as you quite rightly say, Bernard, and just a mistake then, infringement by Carvel to play the ball, and just lying on a little bit too long. Well, actually the referee saying holding on to a player's foot, so that's just lack of game practice, just lack of match time. But again, a sort of mistake you don't really want to make in Super League game when 2 points at store. So that's Carvel making a mistake, giving the penalty to Hull. They kick it 20 metres, and instead of Bradford attacking on the halfway line, they're now defending on their own 30-metre mark.
So a chance to make some progress with a further 6 tackles. Good movement on this near side as they break. With Donaldson, he's held up as Pirtle brings him down. Good play from Jordan Thompson, trying to sidestep one challenge. He's brought down. Again, he'll come forward steadily, moving across field, and there's a chance for them just in front of the post. And as it took 3 Bulls players to bring him down, so the Hull FC only 3 or 4 metres out on this right-hand side now. As they're virtually on the Bulls try line now, but they've been held up.
Last tackle
comes in. Oh, and the pass from, I think it was Crooks.
Yeah, I think it was.
Had he found his intended man, he would have gone over in the corner on his near side.
Adrian Patel quite craftily knocked in there, but he knocked in at the same time, didn't he?
Well intercepted.
So, but it's saving a try and giving away a scrum, but it's better to give away a scrum than save the try. So good alert work there from Adrian Patel, but Hull showing how dangerous he can be on the attack, and some good passing. That man Horn, Richard Horn, the evergreen Richard Horn, been around the track a long time, great player, knows what he's doing, and expect to see him spraying out those passes to a good pass for the ball, splitting defence open with his passing ability.
So Hull again start with a set of 6. Thompson using all his body strength, does extremely well to get very close to the Bulls try line, just next to the post. A dummy there coming in from a Hull FC player, almost worked, but the Bulls were alive to the danger. Hull still have it though, on the far side, trying to pierce the Bulls back line. The Hull's rearguard action holding firm, appreciated by the fans.
I'm dropping a lot of pressure to the Bradford Bulls.
Hull,
last tackle now,
10
tackle.
metres out now with the final tackle. The ball again sprayed to this near side on their right. Lovely reverse pass coming to, it would have been the number 20 for Hull, Shaw, the full-back, but again the defending from the Bulls has been really good so far. They've withstood the pressure extremely well, Mark.
They've stood the pressure tremendously well, and that's augmented by the fact that Bradford fans have shown their respect for the defence, defend their line on 4 or 5 occasions there very, very well, and kept Hull at bay. And that's sort of resilience and determination they're going to need to show in Super League this year.
And that really would have pleased Francis Cummings so
indeed.
far, just to see how well they could cope under pressure. And you know, they've done extremely well so far, still leading by 6-0. Coming up to 13 minutes now.
Well, that was Elliot Keir coming in off the wing to help out the forwards on the second tackle in the middle of the field on about the 30-metre mark, and he said that Palestine ripped the ball out. I think Elliot Keir had dropped that as he slipped on the greasy surface, but referee was there on the spot. I'm not, Mr. Crashley, and he said there was a penalty to Bradford Bulls, which have kicked some 30 metres, and they'll restart about the 55-metre mark upfield, and about 10 metres in from the Tetley stand.
So the ball's coming forward. Alberson almost getting beyond 2 Hull players. Made some ground.
Malafaco, the substitute there, coming on, doing well, driving the ball in. Giant player.
Great interchange of passing there from the Bulls as they tried to switch the play to the far side. They've come up to the 20-metre yard line now, as Addy charging at the Hull FC defence. Another tackle. Lovely dummy there coming in from
That was a fantastic dummy.
Gale. Lovely kick, almost reaching Summit on this near side. He would have had the chance to run in and go over for the try, but the ball just eluded him and went into touch.
It bounced into touch, but it wasn't the last tackle either, so I'm slightly amazed why he chose to kick, but he did. He thought there was a chance of the 2 centres chasing onto the ball from 5 metres out. They kick along the ground. It is a bit greasy, I suppose, so he thought maybe the Hull defenders coming forward may have missed it or miskicked it or slipped or something like that, although the pitch is fantastic condition for the winter, not a speck of mud, no puddles, nothing at all, but just grease on the top surface. But the scrum to Hull FC on the 10-metre mark.
Do you think it was a sign of confidence that he went for the grubber kick when he did, even though it wasn't the last tackle?
I think it is. I've seen a lot of good signs from the Bradford Bulls that already so far in this game that tell me that they've trained well and they all know what they're doing.
Well, Francis Cummings was extremely impressed with the training from the Bulls during the pre-season, and they've certainly started extremely well. As Hull FC venture forward just short of their own 40-metre yard line. Lovely layoff to the far side to Gareth Ellis, but the Bulls are quick to respond.
World-class player, Gareth Ellis, a big sign, probably the biggest sign that Hull have made in recent years, and had a successful career down under, so he's a man to be watched. So when you stop him, you're stopping a world-class player.
This is BCB 106.6 FM, the home of live sport in Bradford, and you're listening to live coverage of the Bulls' first game of 2014. They're playing Hull FC in a pre-season friendly at the Providence Stadium, and they've made an excellent start. They lead by 6-0. Swansea were losing 3-0 at home to Tottenham. That may well be a final score. There's still a crucial game to be played in the Premiership this afternoon, with Chelsea taking on Manchester United. That kicks off at 4 o'clock, and if we can get any updates from that game, we'll certainly bring them to you. As Hull come forward, and it's been evenly matched, I would say, so far. Hull have seen certainly plenty of possession, but they've been held up by a very good defensive performance so far from the Bulls.
Very tight and good performance from both sides testing each other out. They're playing it like it would be a Super League game. They're throwing the ball about, throwing caution to the wind, looking very fit both sides. Hull are going to be there or thereabouts in Super League at the end of the season. I can see them being a top 6 side, and the Bradford Bulls are giving it the best shot. The difference is Hull are just coming into the game that little bit more in the last 5 or 6 minutes or so, passing the ball very, very well, and punching it to left and right off the ruck, just stretching the Bradford Bulls defence a little bit more than perhaps Francis Cummings would like. But
well, that was a fantastic take from Jamie Foster, the high ball from Hull, and he almost scampered away from Hull. He had the chance to run from within his own 40-metre line, but Hull recovered well and just brought him down in the nick of time.
Yeah, great take there by Jamie Foster. But the pass back to Hull from a Bradford player, I think that was that Salmon that gave the pass away there. But
yeah, to Westerman.
Yeah, to Westerman. So you can't do that. Joe Westerman, fantastic player, and a speed merchant as well. So these little things, this is why you have friendlies, Bernard. These little things you can't afford to do in the heat of Super League, because you just give you possession away, making it hard for yourself, and put more sets of 6 in, which drains your energy, saps your strength. But it's better to get them out of the way in a game like this.
Well, exactly. And it's understandable, because these mistakes are going to be made.
Well, they haven't played since September.
Exactly. So you can only expect that. It isn't going to be perfect. It isn't going to be flawless. Mistakes are going to be paid. But you know, we've played for nearly 20 minutes, and I've certainly been impressed with the start they've made. I know that you are too.
Yep.
Mark, it's evenly contested, and it is being played as if it is an actual Super League game.
And not a friendly, exactly. Yeah. It'll be stop-start because of the number of substitutions, because one or two little knocks and tweaks, and the ground is very, very greasy. But we had a lot of rain, haven't we, between December and January.
Tremendous amount, yes.
And whilst it's not cut up at all, it's fantastic condition is the pitch. There's been no snow or ice. It is very greasy on the top, so people are just slipping and before losing the footing. But a great game so far, and a lot more points to be scored, I'm sure. Let's hope they go the way of the Bradford Bulls.
You've missed nothing, by the way, because Addy was receiving some treatment for a hefty knock, but he's okay now. He's back on his feet as play resumes, with Hull venturing down this right-hand side, about 25 metres out, as the ball is offloaded. Hull streaming down that far side. Lovely play inside as they inch their way a little closer now. About 15 metres out they are now, dead centre. And there's a chance for the number 10 to go over, and is that a try?
No, the referee, I think he said held up on his back, which will mean a 10-metre restart.
Arundel went over.
Yep, he did, but he said he was held up on his back, the referee, and he was right on the spot. Good defence from the Bulls.
Lovely grubber through there from the number 7 for Hull, but the Bulls are out to tap the ball out over the dead ball line.
Yeah, that was Elliot Keir, and facing days now. Hull springing to life, and they've got some good players out there, some good experience in Paliacina and Ellis, Thompson, Westerman, Ben Crooks, Arundel, all good players, Tom Lynham, and Bradford was feeling the pressure, is having to defend their own line now, but it's because they've let position go, they've tipped cheap position back over to Hull FC in key positions, which is something Francis Cummings will talk to them about at half-time, I'm sure.
Well, the Bulls took no chances, just tapping the ball over the dead ball line, but that just gives the initiative back to Hull FC, who are going through a good spell at the moment. They're certainly seeing plenty of the ball, and here they come again down this right-hand side with Horn, the number 6. The crunching tackle coming in there from
that was a legal tackle.
Purtell with a tackle.
It was fantastic tackle from Purtell, and it hit Ben Crooks hard, and he knew about that, did Ben Crooks?
He certainly did.
What rugby league football is all about. It was a fair tackle, it was a harsh tackle.
Well, that looked clear forward tackle, but play still continues.
I think Mr. Crassi was too far away from the play of the ball. It went too quickly to the left-hand side, but there's a forward pass there from Hull.
Again, good possession this from Hull on this near side. This will surely be a try for the number 6, Richard Horn. He goes over on the right-hand side corner. Hull are back in this game. It's 6-4.
Hull FC right back in. All the pressure on Hull FC. If Bradford have tipped up cheap football. And, no, the referee has said something else, hasn't he? What has he said? I think that's been disallowed, and that was a try. No, there's... He hasn't given it. He disallowed it for some reason, and it's going to be a scrum on the 20-metre mark. So there's some infringement there. I think what's happened is he's given the scrum where the forward pass was, Bernard, and he allowed play on. He's allowed advantage. He's gone back to the original infringement,
right,
which was a knock on, the forward pass, which means there's a scrum.
I see.
And feed and head to the Bradford Bulls. That's got to be the decision. It can be the only decision as far as I can see.
But do you think the final pass may have been a forward one? Could that be a possible reason?
Well, the final one, I didn't think it was. I thought Ben Crooks.
No, but I didn't either. But no, you may well be right, Mark. Yeah, I'm sure you are with that.
I'm thinking it's the regional infringement of the forward pass that you and I blatantly.
Yes.
We weren't blatant, but the forward pass was. But it just shows what Hull can do, because that was good, and they had the ball sucked in there, didn't they? And the winger didn't take a lot of score in that try. So they're a good side. This is a good friendly to have for the Bradford Bulls, because it's a good testing friendly. The Dewsbury game next week will be with all due respect, Dewsbury a slightly different kettle of fish. But this will test the Bulls and tell them where they are so far in the preparations for the forthcoming season. But the message is from the Bulls: you've got to keep hold of possession against a side like Hull.
So the Bulls have possession just short of the halfway line, and it's with Gale with a high ball down the centre, taken easily by the full-back, and he can now switch play to lineman, and he's tackled. Sorry, Mark.
I was going to say, Bernard, 21 minutes gone, and it's 6 to the Bulls and 0 to the visitors, which is the left seat, so 6-0, and 21 minutes gone, and sun in January, can you believe it?
Mind you, my hands are still freezing.
Yes, the extremities are, yeah. It's not like Tenerife, is it?
I've never been.
Neither have I, so they tell me.
Well, I'm sure it's warmer than Bradford is today.
It's got to be, yeah.
It's got to be. Anyway, Hull again with the ball, just coming over the halfway line now. And you just sense, how much longer can the Bulls hold out? They've defended extremely well so far, as now they come away with it again. But if they can hold out the way they have done so far, Francis Cummings can't help be impressed by what he's seen so far.
When you're playing against a team with the likes of Lynham and Ben Crooks and Richard Horn, Jacob Miller, Palliacina, Chris Green, Gareth Ellis, Westerman, Pierre on the bench, Jay Pitts, etc. That's a good team.
And
that's a good team.
It's not a weak lineup by any means.
No, it isn't. That's a good Super League team, and they're well coached and well drilled, and he's going to be pleased with his performance.
As the Bulls come forward, eventually the player is brought down, and now on the 40-metre line the Bulls come forward. Lovely ball into this near side with Purtell. Ball played through, but it's picked up again by Hull inside their 10-metre line, and they're well under pressure deep inside their own territory. Coming forward down the centre with Horn, who only a few moments ago we thought had that try for Hull FC, but it was disallowed for what we think was a forward pass earlier in the passage of play.
Just going to that last attack by the Bradford Bulls there, I think Adrian Patel hoped that by kicking the ball along the ground that the Hull defender just might slip on the greasy surface and they might get the ball back. I would have been tempted to put up in the air, Bernard, given the sun the way it is, but that's another story.
But as you say, Mark, they're trying to possibly make use of the greasy surface and any uncertainty there might be with the Hull full-backs.
Well, when you don't play regularly with the same player, then there is uncertainty, because you play week in, week out with the same player at the side of you. You know what to do in every situation, and then again, that's what friendlies are all about.
There's the number 16, Jordan Thompson, coming in a little high with a tackle.
Yeah,
but the referee overlooks it. The Bulls come again. Lovely running field from Elliot Kerr, brought down on the 40-metre line inside the Bulls' half. Good defending from Hull, back in numbers. Steady build up this from the Bulls as now they venture over the halfway line. So it's with Summit, shot off to Gale. That's a lovely pass through. As the Bulls come through for their second try of the game, Purtell goes over. Lovely interchange of passing. Lovely break. Second try of the game for the Bulls.
Second try of the game for the Bulls. Fantastic passing of play. Great attacking down his left-hand side. And the breakaway and the dummy shown by the fullback for the Bradford Bulls. And superb stuff. And Purtell was on his shoulder. And he canted in, didn't he, for an easy try. Fantastic stuff.
Well, it was simple, but well crafted at the same time. The dummy, the run over the line as well. It was so well played. And the Bulls now 10 points to the good. And you would think from this position, just to the left of the post, 11 metres out, it's going to be an easy one, you would think, for Jamie Foster to convert.
A player of his capability and a kicker of his capability, his metronomic style of kicking. I think he's got about 82% from placing the ball on the floor to converting last season. Certainly 80%. Then yeah, you would think so. But just going back to that track, there was fast hands, good vision from Lee Gaskill. He saw the gap, he sprinted. He had a decoy run on his left hand side that sent the whole defence the wrong way. He then decided to dummy, threw the whole defence for the second time. The wrong way. They opened up a big gap. Purtell ran off his shoulder with a right gap to receive the ball and touched the ball down underneath it. Purtell. Fantastic stuff from the Bradford Bulls.
Up his steps with a conversion then. So Foster increases the lead for the Bulls and they now lead by 12 points to 0.
23 minutes gone. 12 to the Bulls. 0 to FC. Just what the doctor orders, Bernard.
Absolutely. And I don't think Francis Cummings could have asked for a better start, really.
No, I think he'll be pleased with that.
But ironically enough, during this opening spell, you would say that Hull have certainly seen more of the ball. They've asked more of the questions coming forward, but with the 2 or 3 attacks the Bulls have had, they've punished the opposition.
You're absolutely right. You can have all the field position in the world, you can have all the attacking prowess. For the first 10 minutes the Bulls looked in total command and I thought, we're going to capitulate and let in 20 points there. They came back, they punched the Bradford defence left and right off the ruck. They've varied their running style. Richard Horn's been spraying the passes about beautifully and they've had better field position and they've had more possession in the last quarter of an hour, but they just haven't converted that into points, which is a testament to Bradford Bulls defence.
Gale with a long kick onto the far side, he bounces, bobbles a couple of times, almost goes into touch, he's picked up by Shaw, sliding just ahead of his own try line. And again, Hull under intense pressure.
Under intense pressure on their own line. There was a fantastic kick from the Bradford Bulls. It went from 60 metres down into the far corner, opposite underneath the coral stand on the dressing room side. And the fullback was caught it well, but of course it's very wet and greasy down there in that bottom corner. And he slipped, as most players are doing when they get the ball, trying to take it on the full. And he slipped and went down, and it meant the Bradford Bulls defence could regroup and push on and keep Hull really camped in their own 10 metre mark for the first or second tackle, but they've done well at full because they're up to the 40 metre mark just shy now with 3 tackles gone, so they're punching the holes in the Bradford defence quite well.
As Hull almost forced to backtrack and a miscued kick from Ben Crooks.
Yeah, out on the full as well, and he's touted
out on the full, yes.
So it just shows you even quality players and classy players, when put under pressure, make mistakes like that, Bernard. And that's the Bradford Bulls tactic today, putting Hull under pressure, forcing the mistakes. You're quite right, Hull have had a better field position. They've been in the ascendancy more in terms of running at the Bradford Bulls line and having chances there to score, but they just haven't converted that pressure into points, mainly down to pressure from the Bradford Bulls defence.
So they come forward. 23 metres out on the inside left. They've just gone through their first tackle with Sidlow now.
Yeah, the substitute Sidlow on. He's a big unit, takes some bringing down.
Good run there from O'Brien, charged down by 2 or 3 Hull FC players. So it'll be Samet to pick up, sprays the ball to the right hand side. The Bulls coming forward looking for their third try, and it looks as though they were almost going to get it as they just pulled short. In fact,
it's given it. Yeah,
he's just snuck over. We're just trying to figure out who in fact has got the third try for the Bulls, but they've definitely got it. It's their third of the game, Mark.
I think it's Danny Addy. There are posse of players there. Basically, the Bradford Bulls had good go forward off the ruck. They move the ball to right hand side. Got into the hands of Addy. I think it's Danny Addy. It is Danny Addy. He got the ball to Danny Addy. He pushed off his right foot. took it back onto his left, throwing the balance of his weight to his left hand side. He just faltered the whole defence, touched the ball down 3 minutes to the right hand side of the post. Great try for the Bulls. The Bulls 16, Hull FC 0, and we've got
with the conversion to come.
With the conversion to come easily or it should be easy for Foster, with about 10 minutes left on the clock.
Well, it just looked as though Addy had just pulled up short, but then he outstretched his arm and he managed to just get the ball over the line.
What he did there, Bernard, was very clever. He took the ball to his right hand side, he pushed off his right foot, throwing the weight back onto his left foot. It sent the whole defence momentarily to the left. He went back to the right, which meant they were weak because they were having to track back left again, and he was in the ascendancy, and he reached out and put the ball down. How he stretched down, got it down, I'll never know. I thought it was a foot short, but the referee did take a bit of a time, didn't he, to look, but he was right there, bang on the spot was the referee.
So 3 out of 3 for Foster. The Bulls are playing exceptionally well. They now lead 18-0.
18-0, 30 minutes on the clock. Good stuff for the Bradford Bulls. Foster converted, and you know that when you're a kicker of that ability of Foster, that's worth a lot in your season, Bernard, because that can be the difference in Sunday between winning and losing. Now the conversion have been quite easy, haven't they? But they won't be like that every week. They'll be on the fringes sometimes, and that's when that lifts the team when your kicker can convert like that. It pushes you further and further ahead of the opposition.
Do you know, Lee Radford must be scratching his head at the moment thinking, how on earth are we 18-0 down?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Well, I can answer some of that, Bernard, in that.
Well, that was almost a chance of another break for the Bulls with Samet, but he just knocked the ball on as he was about to tear away from Hull FC. That could have been another chance, another try. But players being pulled back within the Bulls' 20-metre line.
That's right. The difference between the two sides is basically Bradford Bulls have played it tighter and shorter around the ruck area. They've sprinted forward the two props in the second rows, nearer to the ruck. They haven't spread it as wide. They haven't chanced the passes because they know it's early on in the season. They might go to ground. They have made some mistakes in Bradford Bulls, but they've kept it tighter than Hull, and they've taken the chances superbly well. They've been in Hull half 5 times, not the 5 times they scored 4 occasions. That's the difference between a winning side and a losing side. But you're right, Lee Radford will be scratching his head thinking, what are we going to do? And they've basically got to clean up the act that little bit, but don't write them off because they're a good side. And the Bulls have lost games when they've been 18-0 in front before.
Now with the Bulls come forward again as Hull spill the ball while they were almost well inside the 10-metre line. A chance of a break for the Bulls have been held up short of their own halfway line. Gale with his luminous orange boots on the halfway line, he's been held up. He won't go to ground, I don't think. Eventually he does, falls on his back. But again, Hull almost caught out with some sloppy handling.
Well, they're trying to offload when it's not on because they're playing catch-up football, but although it's a friendly and there's not a great deal at stake, they are losing, and they're trying to offload when there's nothing there.
Gale picks up the ball, but slips as he does so, and that's just an example of it. Took the ball and slipped.
Every time a player gets the ball, they're slipping on the ground, and that's going to play a part in this game today.
As Foster holds his run, comes in field. Now it's with care, looks around, jinks past a couple of players, still has the ball, goes to ground. Inside the 40-metre line. Great charging run from the Bulls, offloads it well to the sub Conroy who's come on. So many interchanges as you would expect in a friendly. Now they come down this near side, chip and kick towards the try line, bounces awkwardly, taken up well by the number 3 Crooks, who's forced over his own dead ball line.
Which brings Hull going to drop out and a possession back to the Bradford Bulls, which is good. If you can't score burn and stop the opposition from getting out of their own area, and that gets you the ball back, and that's almost as good as a score because it gives you a chance to get back up there. Looking alert, the Bradford Bulls. They've got home advantage, of course, looking alert, looking lively. And you know, it's early days, Bernard, but if the Bulls play like this in every Super League game and they can stay clear of serious injuries, then the top 8 place is obvious.
Well, on the
but
balance
a
of this,
long way to go.
Well, of course, but the omens are certainly good, and on the balance of this display, I would certainly agree with you. It's not even half a game, but they've started extremely well, and we should take something from that.
Yeah, indeed.
Gale again, lovely pass to the far side as the Bulls stream forward again.
Just lose his footwork there, Bernard. You've got to have short passes off the shoulder. The man's going to be charging at the ball. You can't pass it 30 minutes. It's too slippy.
The Bulls again with Sidlow. He's seen plenty of the ball since he's come on, so they're only 5 metres out now in front of the posts. Gale plays it onto the near side, and the ball's going to score again. They certainly are! And it's Samet with the 4th try for the Bulls.
Great try for the Bradford Bulls there. Good pass in the corner. Scraps of football being thrown around because it's so greasy and slippery the surface into the hands of Samet, who passed it to Foster. And I think it was Foster that scored that try. We'll confirm that in a second. A posse of Bradford Bulls players into the corner, but certainly it is the Bradford Bulls now 22, Hull FC 0.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mark. It's Foster going over the corner, the left-hand corner as we look. A 4th try for the Bulls. Now, I weren't expecting this. I don't think you were either,
I wasn't, Bert. No, I said to a girl at the back of the stand when she asked me, could a St John Ambulance lady who supports the Bulls, could they win? And I said it'd be 22-20 to the Bradford Bulls. Well, I'm going to get that wrong because it's 22 already, isn't it?
Well, this is certainly going to be.
And I think there's going to be more points in the second half. I can tell you that.
You can certainly see that. But it looks like Foster. This is going to be the toughest of all the conversion attempts that Foster's taken so far. 3 out of 3, but it's virtually hugging the touchline on this near side, about 20 metres out. And if he can get this over, that would really sum up a fantastic first half display from the Bulls.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one, and like I said, Bern, not all tries this season at home or anywhere are going to come on under the post. In fact, the majority of them will come, probably 10 metres or 12 metres out. But this is right on the touchline side, half a metre in, and not a lot of space there is there from the edge of the pitch to the speedway track. So he's not got many steps to be able to take to convert this.
Here it comes. It looks good as he bends in inside the far post. Over it goes, 4 out of 4 for Foster. He's having a fantastic half. And you know what? So are the Bulls. They lead 24-0.
Well, the Bradford Bulls are playing superbly well, and Foster's kicking superb. He's looking lively, he's Jamie Foster, and Hull look forlorn, but don't write them off because coached by Lee Radford, they won't give in. They'll come back, and the Bradford Bulls are now going to play a tactical game, a straight game, and try nothing silly in their own half, build up the pressure up into the opponent's half, and then get the runners there to come off the shoulder. And the pitch is in fantastic condition. It's so greasy. Virtually every time a player on either side gets the ball, they slip in, or the footwork's just not quite there, is it?
Yeah, the pitch has so far held up really, really well despite all the rain that we've had for the last few weeks. But the Bulls, Mark, have just been so clinical, converting their chances. 4 tries, 4 conversions, and the Bulls have it again just short of the halfway line, as we still have another 2 minutes or so left in this first half. An excellent showing from the Bulls so far, as the Bulls with their first tackle only 10 metres from their own try line.
Well, the sun going down behind the stand at the far side, the open terrace side, sorry, not the stand at the far side, and with that it gets visibly, or physically, sorry, not visibly, but physically 3 or 4 degrees colder, doesn't it?
I'm feeling it already, Mark.
Yeah.
I really
red hot on the field, because that's a fantastic start for the Bradford Bulls, and it would be nice, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be nice to score more points than 0 Hull. That'd be just what the doctor ordered for the start of the season.
As Hull, what can they do before the end of the half? They haven't got much time. Are they going to get anything on the board? They're still well around the half, as they're almost undone there with Samet almost breaking. He just couldn't get the ball to fall.
Well, a lob pass there from a Hull player, and Samet dived up and nearly caught it. If he'd been 3 inches taller, he would have caught that, wouldn't he? Just forced it. Why Hull are trying to force it and force the pass? He didn't
knock it on either, so
no, he
could have picked up the ball and run with it, but by that time Hull were back in numbers.
Well, actually, I thought he would have done that, and that's what I would have done, but he didn't, did he? Decided not to. He decided to just take it tight and keep it steady, but I would have had to go forward, because you're right, he didn't knock it forward, he knocked it backwards.
So this could conceivably be the final chance of the half for Hull. 10 metres out, almost dead centre, with Miller infield to the number 14. Less than 10 metres out on this near side. Good interception there from Summit, and I think it probably just came off his back or shoulder. If it wasn't for the interception, well, could easily have gone in for the try.
I think Foster got his body in the way, but he also got his hand to the ball, so while the pass went into touch, it came off a Bradford hand. That's why Hull are running back to the scrum on the 10 metre mark, so they're going to get the scrum head and feed, so they're going to have another last chance to attack. That's why they want to rush it. 18 seconds on the clock's been stopped now, so they're going to have another set of 6. Let's hope the Bradford Bulls can defend this and keep them out, because psychologically it wouldn't be good for Hull to score, although the Bradford Bulls still would have a strong lead, but it wouldn't be good for them to score just before half time. So the ball, the interception attempt coming off Foster's hand, into touch to pass from Hull head and feed. Hull attack.
Oh, lovely dummy there from the number 9 from Hull.
Yeah,
as they come forward, only 10 metres out. A little kick through, easily picked up though by Alderson as the hooter goes. But play still rages now as the Bulls come forward with Purtell coming up to the halfway line. And that is the end of the first half. A wonderful first half.
That was a fabulous break there by Foster and Purtell. Shammett's been a bit quiet by his own standards, but don't write him off. I think we'll see him on the score sheet in the second half, but a good control display by the Bradford Bulls, good power play, good thinking when they're going forward, good line speed, chasing the kicks very well, and quite frankly, totally and utterly outplaying and dominating this Hull FC side.
It's been a tremendous performance, it really has. And what's impressed you most? Has it been the fact that they've actually prevented Hull from scoring, or is it the way they've converted all their tries, all their opportunities?
It's the way they've gone about the job in a workmanlike way with effervescence and skill and determination. They don't look like a team that's got off-field troubles. They don't look like a team that's short of money. They look like a team that wants to win, and that all goes well for this season. Superb performance from the Bulls, taking the challenge. Hull just throwing the ball and playing catch-up football. No good for them. Too many mistakes. Lee Bradford will have something to say about that.
Well, it's been a fantastic first half showing from the Bulls. They lead 24-0 at the break against Hull FC. We'll be back in a few minutes for full second half commentary. In the meantime, we'll hand you back to the Sports Centre with Paul Davis and first of all, Malcolm Curry.
Hi, thanks. That's Bernard Chizzy and Mark Hobson up there at Odsall. Welcome to the BCB Sports Centre 106.6. Alongside me, I'm Malcolm Curry, by the way. Alongside me is Paul Davis. Good afternoon, Paul. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Malcolm. And good start for the season for Bradford Bulls, just a pre-season. But having said that, to get a try in the first 2 minutes, you can't really ask for more than that, can you?
Yeah, 24-0, pretty comprehensive there, I think. Looking good. Soon we'll be reliving the highlights from the first half. We'll be hearing from Alistair Cook about things down under. And we'll be keeping up to date with the Premier League scores and the rest of today's sports news.
This is the Sports Centre on BCB 106.6 FM, the home of live sport in Bradford.
Well, as we've heard, it's 24-0 up at Odsall. Let's relive the highlights from the first half with Mark Hobson and first Bernard Chizzy.
Carville, the new signing, almost charging over the line. Great chance for the Bulls to come over the line! And with only not even 2 minutes on the clock, the Bulls score with their first try. They're 4-0 up.
Yeah, the Bradford Bulls driving the ball fast and hard forward. Carville to the fore, all the way through, crashes his way through a ruck of Hull players. A slip pass out the side door to the supporting Bradford Bulls through. Touchdown under the post. Great score for the Bradford Bulls, just what the doctor ordered after 36 seconds. Great try for the Bulls.
So it's with Summit. Shot offload to Gale. That's a lovely pass through. As the Bulls come through for their second try of the game, Purtell goes over. Lovely in their change of passing. Lovely break. Second try of the game for the Bulls.
Second try of the game for the Bulls. Fantastic passing of play. Great attacking down his left-hand side. And the breakaway and the dummy shown by the fullback for the Bradford Bulls. And superb stuff. And Purtell was on his shoulder. And he counted in, didn't he, for an easy try.
So it'll be Summit to pick up. Sprays the ball to the right hand side. The Bulls coming forward looking for their third try, and it looks as though they were almost going to get it as they just pull short. In fact,
it's given it.
It's given it.
Yeah.
He's just snuck over. We're just trying to figure out who in fact has got the third try for the Bulls, but they've definitely got it. It's their third of the game, Mark.
I think it's Danny Addy. There were posture players there. Basically, the Bradford Bulls had good go forward off the ruck. They moved the ball to right hand side, got into the hands of Addy, pushed off his right foot, took it back onto his left, throwing the balance of his weight to his left hand side. It just faltered the whole defence, touched the ball down 3 minutes to the right hand side of the post. Great try for the Bulls. The Bulls 16, Hull FC 0, and we've got
With the conversion to come.
With the conversion to come.
Gale plays it onto the near side, and the Bulls going to score again. They certainly are, and it's Samet with the fourth try for the Bulls.
Great try for the Bradford Bulls there. Good pass in the corner. Scraps of football being thrown around because it's so greasy and slippery the surface. Into the hands of Samet, who passed it to Foster. And I think it was Foster that scored that try. We'll confirm that in a second. A posture of Bradford Bulls plays into the corner. But certainly it is the Bradford Bulls now 22, Hull FC 0.
They go again. Try number 5.
Well, Lee Radford will be spitting feathers, spitting blood even, because that's the try the Bradford Bulls bring it 28 to the Bulls, 0 to SC. Great passenger play, kick off for the Bradford Bulls, Hull dropped it, scrum end feed the Bradford Bull, moved to the right hand side, into the hands of Gale, in the Samet, back inside I think to Manakafoa. I think it was Manakafoa that touched it down. Another try for the Bradford Bulls, great stuff.
To try for the Bradford Bulls, with sponsorship still available. Number 3, Adam Henry.
It's Adam Henry the scorer,
Adam Henry
the substitute, not Manakafoa. Adam Henry, a debut try for him, and well, 3 minutes gone in the second half, and the Bradford Bulls started off the second half as they finished first.
And that all came from that basic error from Hull FC.
It did indeed.
Just a simple, well, it wasn't necessarily simple, but the mistake itself was so basic because it allowed the Bulls to attack with that scrum, and from that scrum they've scored their 5th try of the afternoon as Foster places the ball down for what would be his 5th conversion in a row.
It does indeed, Bernard, and rugby league's a cruel game because, like a lot of sports, you make a mistake, you're penalised, but more so in rugby league than any other game.
So it's to the right of centre, about 19 metres out, as he looks at the ball, arms down his sides, looks at the posts, takes his time, moves slightly to the left of the ball, swings it in, just creeps inside the far post. So again, another conversion for Foster. That's his 5th, and now the Bulls lead by 30 points to 0.
Ruthless stuff from the Bulls, and Adam Henry, a big unit, big centre from New Zealand, and he's looking at a useful asset. Very similar to Manakafoa, maybe not as tall, and Manakafoa's had his haircut, so you can't tell him by the crop. But the thing about it is, when every time a try is scored by the Bulls, or some pressures put on the line, then there's a posse of Bradford Bulls players around the ball carrier. That shows enthusiasm and determination, and every time the Bradford Bulls have scored a try, there's been 5 or 6 players in and around the ball carrier who could have scored as well. So great enthusiasm by the Bradford Bulls, and you wouldn't have thought, would you, that they've been worried about whether they're going to get paid or not this last 3 months.
Well, you just get the feeling that they've been unleashed, if you like, you know, after the close season and all the problems that they've had, and clearly it must have affected the players, not knowing their own futures, but to see them play the way they have today,
yeah, well,
that has been fantastic.
Well, it's good game management, isn't it? And it's good management in general by Francis Cummins and his team there, because looking at the enthusiasm of the Bradford Bulls players on this field today, you wouldn't think that they were the club was in that position, would you?
Gale with a great ball to the far side, and then it was Samet.
Slipped the ball out to Foster, didn't he? And Foster just took it off his bootlaces there, Bernard. And,
yeah, it was a low one to take.
It was.
So the Bulls are really continuing where they left off with that early second half try for the, well, it was for Henry, wasn't it?
It was Adam Henry, the Kiwi, and number 3 today, and come over from New Zealand, and a lot expected of him, a junior Kiwi, I believe, and well, welcome to Super League, welcome to England in the cold as well.
Yeah, although it's not that cold, as we've said.
Compared with normal January, you're dead right.
But now that the sun's gone down, I'm really beginning to feel it now.
Hot on the field though, Bernard, good play from the Bradford Bulls.
So, Hull coming forward, and you'd think from this stage, Mark, that Hull can't recover from this.
Well, I've said,
you never know.
Well, Bernard, on several occasions last season, the Bradford Bulls were well in control, well in the lead, not by 30 points to 0, but I've seen them falter from 24 behind. So, yeah, I think Hull will score, but let's hope the Bradford Bulls can keep the pressure on and come away with a victory. No points today because none at stake.
So Hull, lovely little kick towards his left-hand corner. It's taken superbly by Elliot Kerr, who fell on his back as he gathered the ball, held on to it, which was crucial. So
well, even more crucial than that, you're right, Bernard, that was the number 1 thing, but he put it back over the whitewash, because if he'd got it behind the whitewash, that would mean a drop out to Hull and a more attacking prowess. So Bradford doing everything right.
Such a difficult catch to take, but he did exceptionally well. Superb handling from Kerr. As now the Bulls break through the middle, just over the halfway line now. Ball goes to ground. Here they come again, the Bulls, looking for more as they should, with Hull firmly on the ropes, to use a boxing analogy. It's with Sidlow, dead centre, onto this right hand side now with Gale,
tackle.
almost pulled off a good dummy there. Last tackle though, Grubber comes in, ricochets off the number 7, Miller. Deep inside the 10 metre line for Hull.
That was a good tactic by Adam O'Brien there, because he thought they'd ricochet off the Hull players' boots, and he perhaps might struggle to get down to the floor and pick it up on the greasy surface, but Lady Luck fell the way of Hull this time, and Hull picks up the ball and they bring it away over to the 20-minute mark. But good thinking game by the Bradford Bulls.
Well, that's been the mark of their game, I think. I think they've been extremely intelligent with their use of the ball. They've been extremely clinical coming forward. They've withheld whatever pressure has been thrown at them as well.
Not quite now though, but handing at the play of the ball, trying to strip the ball out, and they'll be penalised on the Hull 30 metre mark. The penalty to Hull, which goes a good 30 metres up to the Bradford 40 metre mark. So Bradford having to defend through trying to rip the ball out. That's something that Francis Cummins won't be happy about, because that's silly when you're 30-0 in the lead.
And there's no need for it either.
No need at all when you're opponent's half. No, those are the things you're going to cut out. You play teams like Wigan or St Helens or Leeds, you will get absolutely caned with decisions like that. But let's take nothing away from the Bradford Bulls. I'd say a good performance this afternoon. 8 minutes gone in the second half. The Bulls, who've just joined us and they're coming from shopping or whatever you want to do with the Bulls, 8 minutes gone in the second half, and it's Bulls 30, Hull FC 0.
Yeah, and don't forget to send in your tweets as well. Follow us on Facebook as well. Hull just 10 metres out now, just to the right of the posts. Could this be their first chance? Only 2 or 3 metres out now as they're tackled again. Little Grubber kick comes through. It's tipped out by Henry over the dead ball line. So that's going to be a drop kick.
It is a drop from the Bradford Bulls, because it was tipped out beyond the back line to save the danger there. It's a rule we have in rugby league. It's a good one. It saves you worrying about whether the opposition can stick up behind you and score a try. But what it does is it gives possession back to the opponent. What we've got to do now is kick it as far as we can, and hopefully we'll maybe knock it on or drop it or something. But they are going to get possession back. But still, good defending from the Bradford Bulls, good thinking from the Bradford Bulls, good awareness. That's the main thing. You've got to be aware in rugby league football.
And at no point, Mark, have they actually treated this game, or given the impression that they've treated this game like a pre-season friendly.
Not at all. No, in no way, shape or form have they given you the impression that it's a pre-season friendly. They're playing like it's a cup game.
Well, coming forward again. But the Bulls' defence has been resolute throughout the afternoon, still keeping out the visitors who have yet to score. There's now Rankin on the far side. He's held up. Less than 10 metres out now. Hull streaming forward, cutting infield. Again, excellent defending from the Bulls, keeping them out, keeping them at bay. Ball in field, reverse pass. Hull coming down this near side on the left as we look. Could only be 3 or 4 metres out now. 5th tackle. This is their chance to score up against the post. The number 10 for Hull has gone down. The referee hasn't given it though.
Well,
I
think the Bradford Bulls are lucky there, because I think the Hull player got the ball down 3 minutes to the left hand side of the post, maybe between his legs. I think it was Joe Westerman, was it? And the referee said, he said, look, the referee's not there, I'm not there, the referee is. So good decision by the referee, and good defending, getting numbers in at the tackle of the Bradford Bulls. What that shows is fitness, it shows enthusiasm, it shows good thinking, because that's about the 3rd time it's happened in the game. The Bradford Bulls have got numbers there and prevented Hull try.
So for the 2nd time today, Hull have had a try disallowed. So they're still scoreless, as we've got about half an hour to go in this game, with the Bulls leading by 30 points to 0 here at the Providence Stadium. You're listening to BCB 106.6 FM, the home of live sport in Bradford, and don't forget, we've got more sporting action for you tomorrow night with Bradford Park Avenue playing in the league against Leamington at the Horsefall Stadium, and they're running an initiative for that game. Pay what you want, so when you turn up at the gate, pay whatever you like. It could be as little or as much as you like. And if you've got nothing better to do, I'd advise you to go down and support Bradford Park Avenue. They play some lovely football. On their day they can beat anyone. And we've got the full game for you, so you can kill two birds with one stone. Listen to the game while you're at the ground. Meanwhile, the Bulls still with a 30-point lead as the crowd clearly think that was a forward pass. It did look like one to me, Mark, yes. As the referee tumbles inside the Bulls half. And he put his hand up as if to acknowledge to everyone, I'm okay, I'm fine.
That's right. He slipped on the spot, didn't he? And it's held up, hasn't it, the pitch? A rugby league pitch in January normally wouldn't hold up as good as this, and it's absolutely... Having said that, nothing's been played in it for the last 5 months, so they left that little bit of grass on there, but in great condition, but very, very, very slippy. But the Bulls have handled, as you'd expect for the home side, handled that greasiness of the surface better than Hull FC have.
Bulls carrying the ball forward again over the 40-metre line they come. The ball goes to ground. It's just been such an overall, such a very good performance. So many positives to be taken from this game, from the Bulls' perspective. They're just short of the halfway line now. Good interchange of passing there as Gale comes forward, tried to slip the ball away, but he's dispossessed by Hull. They come forward now with Miller, turns away from a couple of challenges, comes forward 3 or 4 yards, then comes down. But almost a break on for the Bulls there, Mark.
Superb. He ran onto the ball with great pace off the pass of Gale. Did Sidlow, broke away. Then went pass it back to Gale. Gale tried to pass it out the back door to the charging Bulls players on either side of him, but the back door pass didn't go anywhere, went to ground and maybe forced it. But you can't blame it because they were on the descending the Bradford Bulls, but just nobody there. That will come. That time will get better as the Bulls team play together in more games.
Tottenham won 3-0 earlier today at Swansea. The game at Stamford Bridge kicked off a few minutes ago. Chelsea against Manchester United. Chance of a high up and under here for Hull. Easily taken though by Keir. Comes away with it up to the 10-metre line on their left. As the ball goes to ground. No goals at Stamford Bridge so far. If that changes, we'll certainly let you know. Crucial game involving those two teams at the top of the English Premier League. As Samet goes to ground. Still well inside the Bulls half is this. Good jinking run from the Bulls. Again, they're held up by 3 players. Took 3 players there to bring the Bulls man down. Kick forward from Gaskill towards the far side, runs into touch, an excellent kick that, so that'll be a scrum for Hull, but that's well inside their own territory.
In fact, it's better than that because Mr. Crashley didn't signal very well there, but I was a little stinky finish, signalled to 20-40. Or a 40-20, should I say?
Yes.
I think he signalled the 40-20. It wasn't. His arm was low. I know it's a friendly, but he would have thought he'd been a bit more enthusiastically signalling. I think that's a 40-20. That means it went from the 40 to the 20-metre mark,
yes.
Which means it's scrum head and feet to the Bulls.
The Bulls win the scrum.
Yeah, it is indeed. His signalling was poor there. He was very low and very laid back with that signalling, but it is a 40-20. Fantastic kick from the Bradford Bulls.
So they have a set of 6. No more than 10 metres out, coming forward now. So we've had a tweet saying that Adam Henry might be one to watch this season. What do you think, Mark? Neil Hansen with that tweet. Thank you, Neil.
Yeah, well, I'll answer that question. Neil Burnham's already done it so far. I think Adam Henry will be one to watch. I think he's got the poise, he's got the pedigree, he's got the build to be a good centre. It will take him some time to settle into this English weather, but I'm sure that will happen. And a great performance from the Bradford Bulls this afternoon. Thanks for listening to us, thanks for tweeting, and stay with us all season because we are the best at rugby league, as you well know.
We certainly do our best, and we'll be needless to say we'll be covering all the Bulls games this season, and that includes the pre-season friendlies as well, right up to the right up to the kick-off on February the 16th, I think it is, Mark?
Bernard, you're right, it is February. A bit late this year. It was earlier last year because of the World Cup, and it finished early in the season. I did the last game here against Huddersfield right at the beginning of September last year, before I went off on my holidays, but it kicks off a little bit later, a couple of days after Valentine's Day, but it's going to be a great season.
Well, if this is anything to go by, it certainly should be for the Bulls. We should stress it is only one game and it is a pre-season friendly, but the Bulls have really played extremely well today. They've certainly impressed me, and I'm sure the crowd, as I look around, are certainly very happy with their performance too. Hull coming forward up to the halfway line, dead centre. So many interchanges, of course, as you'd expect in a pre-season friendly like this, as both coaches, Francis Cummins and
fifth tackle, Hull on the 40-metre mark in the centre of the field from of the pitch.
High up and under. Oh, and it was
Bounced
missed
off,
there by Saltonstall. He almost ducked out of the ball as it came towards him.
I was just about to say, Bernard, I wonder what our listeners think to our commentary today. What do they think about the Bradford Bulls' potential season? What do they think about the off-field activities that the Bulls are facing, the financial situation? They can tweet us, of course, can't they? They can email us.
Yeah, they certainly can. Get in
ring up,
touch,
do
let us know
anything
what you
they want.
think.
Let us know what you think. We'll give you a mention live on BCB 106.6 FM. It's actually sports
at you do it, Mark.
Sports at bcbradio.co.uk. SPORT, of course. And we'd love to hear from you, and we like the interface that we have with our listeners. You're a great bunch of people, and we wouldn't be where we are without you. They're the most important people, and we look forward to working with you the rest of this season. Sports at BCB.
Crunching tackle coming in there from the number 9, who we don't even have on our team sheet.
No, it was a massive tackle on the Bradford player, but
in fact it was Payer, Mickey Payer.
Mickey Payer, a giant of a man, a big man, Mickey Payer. He's the sort of guy you don't want running at you, Bernard.
You certainly don't, no.
And he's lost a lot of weight as well. I think he's lost about 4 stones because he was threatening not to have a contract, and so you can imagine he's smaller than he was. And
so this is a slimline version.
This is a slimline version. Look at the size of him there. There you go. That's rugby league football for you.
You've just joined us. The Bulls are having a terrific afternoon because they lead by 30 points to 0 against Hull FC. 5 tries have scored so far. All 5 conversions have been taken as well. O'Sullivan leading 7-1 at the end of the afternoon session, so it could be
his trophy.
His trophy.
I
think it's first to 10.
I think it is, Bernard, yes, and so I don't think he's far away from winning the World Championship.
So he's best of 19 at the Masters, and he's been so imperious this week as Ronnie O'Sullivan. He is the best player. A bit like Obbo and at BCB, I suppose. Well, you're our Ronnie O'Sullivan, aren't you?
I don't think so, but yeah, maybe Billy O'Sullivan or something like that. But nice of you to say so. Nice of you to say so. But you know, what it is nice to talk about is this performance from the Bradford Bulls, because what you've got to say, whatever happens this afternoon now, that the players have totally put to one side the off-field situation with the finances, haven't they? And they're putting a good performance. It is only a friendly, but they played like it's a cup game. Superb performance, well controlled, and good rugby league football. And the other thing that slightly put a bit of a, well, he hasn't put any mock on the game at all, but every player, virtually every time he's got the ball, has slipped, hasn't he, in some way, shape or form.
I think the conditions are getting even greasier now that the sun's gone down, so that's understandable. The Bulls down the right hand side. The ball comes in field to Manu Kafoa.
Yeah,
I'll get it right. I'll get it right.
You've got it right, Bernard. You've got it right.
Oh, that's a really good kick coming in, under 5 metres out, spilled over the line. Now the
touchdown by a Bradford Bull player. I think he slid onto it rather than touch it down cleanly, Bernard, and he didn't get downward pressure, did he?
But that was a terrific kick. It did put Hull under tremendous pressure, only 3 or 4 metres out. But the referee was right with his call. So Hull start with their set of 6. I think Lee Radford is going to be so disappointed as there's an altercation here between a couple of players, and the referee's got a bit of work to do to sort this out.
Well, I
It
think
looks
that-
innocuous enough.
It does. I think it's a bit of frustration from Hull because they wouldn't have thought they would come here even in a friendly and get nilled with only 19 minutes to go. So in the last quarter of the game, Bernard, I think it's frustration from Hull, but it's the first time we've seen any kind of physical, non-allowable physical activity, should we say? Because rugby league's a very physical game. You're not allowed to punch, that is for sure.
The Bulls have won the scrum, so it may well have been a knock-on that allowed the Bulls to win the scrum. Looking for their 6th try in this game. Here they come again, down the middle this time, with the number 18 for the Bulls.
Samet now, yeah.
There's now only 3 metres out, the Bulls are.
Yeah, that was Oliver Roberts who had the ball, but it's in the hands of Samet now.
Chelsea 1, Man U 0 is the latest at Stamford Bridge. The Bulls getting ever nearer to the try line. 5th tackle now, just a metre or so out on the right hand side. A low raking pass, not the best. Then comes the kick towards this near side. It should be taken by the number 4 for Hull, Tom Stark. Took it well for falling back. Took it well, so Hull can now break deep inside their own half. So Chelsea with the opening goal. And they're having such a good season under Jose Mourinho, and in my opinion, Mark, I think they're probably the closest challengers to Manchester City this season.
I would say so. It looks that way. Yeah. I think the trophies might go.
Don't forget, we've got more sporting action, as I say, on BCB tomorrow night. Bradford Park Avenue are at home to Lymington in the league. Pay what you want at the gate, as I say. Pay as little or as much as you want. And our coverage for that starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow night with Chris Bell and Jerry Daniels. So can the Bulls get back to winning ways following that disappointing defeat against Hensford Town yesterday when they lost in the closing stages, just when they thought they were going to get a point from the game? And they really need to get their season back on track as quickly as they can if they have any chance of getting into the playoffs this season. The Bulls coming forward, the ball slips, Hull should pick up, they do.
Just forcing it before the halfway line there, the Bulls. That was silly, giving possession back to Hull FC. And there's never any need, unless you're 60 or 70 points in front, to force a pass before the halfway line when you're leading and you've got tackles to go. It's a rush of blood to the head, and that's something that Francis Cummins could iron out in the next 2 friendlies.
Or is it possibly misplaced confidence?
Well, a bit of both, Bernard, yeah, because when you're leading and you've done well, then you want to try it on, don't you?
Yes, exactly.
And of course, the young players that are coming into this team today know they need to impress Francis Cummins, so they're going to want to do that even more so.
Well, I think he might be left with a selection headache after this because there are so many good performances across the team.
Well, Brett Kearney's missing at full-back and Lee Gaskill slotted in there perfectly well, so that's a good for the Bradford Bulls because Brett Kearney, if ever he gets injured, we've got a ready-made replacement in Lee Gaskill.
Hull desperate for some points and they slip. They spill the ball as the Bulls come forward now on this near side with Saltonstall brought down, good run, must have been a 40-metre dash.
40-metre gap, didn't quite back himself, James Saltonstall, because he had the Hull number 20 running at him. And I thought that was James Shaw, but I think he could have beaten him in the foot race. Didn't quite back himself, but that's age and that's youthful inexperience, but great run from James Saltonstall there.
Good run from Philbin as well. Also, both players, incidentally, coming from Warrington on loan for 4 weeks. This could be a great opportunity for the Bulls to come forward, only 10 metres out on the right-hand side. They're brought down. The pace of the game has slowed down in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Understandable, of course, with this being the first game for certainly the Bulls. Lovely no change as the number 10 streams through for the Bulls. Carvel just pulled up short.
Was it Carvel?
Carvel.
Yeah, it was Carvel. Ankle tap, wasn't he? Just ankle tap by Hull, 6 centimetres or so away from the try line.
The Bulls haven't finished yet. Lovely kick through. It's taken well by Hull on the far side. Good handling. So they've prevented the Bulls from scoring again with less than 15 minutes to go, with the Bulls leading by 30 points to 0 in this pre-season friendly against Hull FC. And who would have thought that at the start? Jordan Thompson, the number 16, coming up to the 40-metre line, still inside their own half. Hull playing all in blue, chance to break over the halfway line. Good tackling there from the Bulls, denying Hull the chance to come forward any further, but they've put the ball out with a good kick. So the Bulls are going to have a scrum about 20 yards out inside their own half.
Yeah, Hull running the ball down there. I think that was the wrong option from Will. I'd have been tempted to put the ball into the air, because while it's hanging in the air, you've got a chance for your opponent, for your teammate, to get underneath it and put some pressure on the ball. But the thinking game from Hull's not been good today. But maybe they just wanted the hit out, Bernard. But I'm sure Lee Rafford would have wanted to try and win it. But yeah, that's not going to happen. I can't see Hull scoring 30 odd points in 13 minutes that's left. In fact, it'd be nice for the Bradford Bulls to nil Hull, because that's something to go into training with next week.
Exactly.
Superb piece of psychology, that.
And it isn't something that happens very often either.
It doesn't happen often, Bernard.
Keeping what you might say in football is a clean sheet.
No, friendlies or league games, it doesn't happen often. And if you can do that and you've done it all the game from start to finish, then that's a massive piece of confidence boost to any team and the coach.
Well, I'm sure they're desperate to preserve that up to the final hooter, and they've only got 13 minutes to go as the ball is launched long down the middle. Well, they're going to pick this up with the number 20, Shaw, the fullback, as the Bulls charge Hull back, forcing them inside their own 20-metre line. Here they come again, the visitors, and well, Lee Radford is going to be so disappointed with the performance of his team today, because during the first half, after the Bulls scored their first try mark, they had that spell for 10 or 15 minutes. They did look as though they were going to score, but since that point,
nothing
they've been very disappointed.
They've had a lot of field position. They've had some good possession, and it hasn't happened. All right, they've one or two top name players out, but they've still got a good side out there, and they just haven't done it at all. And he'd be very, very disappointed with Lee Radford. But on the other hand, Bernard, he'll be glad that they get it out of the way in a friendly than if this had been a league game, because you walk away with no points.
Well, Hull actually drew their first pre-season game at Doncaster, but they had a much younger side out for that game, didn't they?
They did indeed. They played a lot of the youngsters. But you know, to get into the top 8 in this last 3 or 4 seasons, you've got to be sort of scoring 24, 25, 26 points, which means you've got to win half your league games just to get into to qualify for the top 8. So you can show how tight it is in Super League these days.
Well, the Bulls were a little fortunate to get away with a slap pass, but here they come forward now with the number 20, Sultan Stoll, kicks the ball forward. Is it going to be reached by the number 3, Henry? And it's kicked out. It's kicked out over the dead ball line as Hull scampered back in numbers, but they were almost undone by a lightning break.
It was a lightning break there by Adam Brook, number 20, and Sultan Stalling is chasing the ball as well. A kick through, beautiful kick through, very cleverly thought of. Kick to the left-hand side. It bobbled and bounced all over the place, ripped the whole defence apart, but Hull just got back to push the ball behind. But you know, what better an effort than, if you're not going to get anything out of it in terms of points, make it so you put pressure on your opposition, and they've got to kick out, which they have. They've got to kick out to the Bradford Bulls. So the idea in rugby league football is to put so much pressure on opposition that they force errors. You force errors upon them, and you get the ball back, which is what the Bradford Bulls are going to do. That's good thinking, good planning, good teamwork, and just what the doctor ordered.
Could Sultan Stoll have gone a little further before kicking it? Mark?
Well, yes. The kick was a bit too early, because what happens if you kick that little bit too early, the options aren't on your face. They've got a chance then to go left or right. If it's sucked them in that little bit more, so the line and move further forward to the kicker, then the kick through would have given the chance for the chasers to get into the gaps. So yes, that's inexperience, so that will come with time and with practice.
Lovely jinking run from Hull as they come forward. This is a chance now for the visitors to come forward on this left-hand side as they make 35 metres well inside the Bulls' territory now. About 25 metres out they are now from the try line. They come forward through the middle. 6 for Hull FC. That was Horn. It's on the far side now with the 24, Cunningham, just short of the line now. Great defending again from the Bulls.
Fabulous defending
Keep them out.
for Bulls.
And they just will not let Hull get a sniff of a chance in this game.
Yeah, Bradford Bulls penalised there. They were holding on and trying to force the opponent down. So that's a right penalty from Mr. Crashley. Right on the line. They kick it backwards to give them some breathing space, and they'll tap and go from 10 metres in from the touchline side, 10 metres out, over on the far side of the ground, over on the dressing yard side. Hull pressing. Inside
the Bulls 10 metre line now, with another 5 tackles to go. Here they come. Just short of the post now. And again he's been held up by the Bulls. Just on the line, just short of the line. The defence have worked so well today. The Bulls have still got more defending to do though, just in front of their posts. Hull again, desperate for that break. Can they pierce the back line this time? Again they've been held up just short of the line. The crowd really appreciate the effort that the Bulls have put in today, as the ball is held up over the line.
10 minutes to restart, so you have to face another set of 6, I'm afraid, Bernard, and that tires you. And the odds are that Hull might score in the last 8 minutes of this game, which would be a shame, really, but not the end of the world by any stretch of imagination.
As the Hull player goes over the line, but again the referee doesn't believe that he's grounded the ball.
It's a friendly, and he's not had a lot to do today, the referee, but I've got to say he's been fantastic. He's been on the spot for every time Hull have gone over the line and not scored a try. Do you know, if they're in a league game, a lot of referees wouldn't have done that, and Hull may very well have had something like 4 tries disallowed. Well, there haven't been tries, have there? But the ball's been over the line. He's been right there, right on the spot, hasn't he, every time, which is a testament to his fitness and his awareness. So a good game from me, from Mr. Crashley.
And in a way, Mark, you wouldn't blame the Bulls for not allowing Hull to get a try, but almost admitting, well, it's okay, let them.
No, you wouldn't.
If they score a try, it's not such a bad thing.
No,
but
it's a friendly, but they're not doing that.
They won't even let them get that point, those points on the board.
Which is mental attitude.
Great run this from Samet with a reverse pass.
Well, that's right. The crowd don't like it. Just explain that to the listeners, Bernard. The Bradford Bulls broke away on the left-hand side. Fantastic run from Samet into the gap, and he flicked the ball out the back. It was beautiful to watch from Samet. It was like a circus acrobatic trick. He spun round, passed the ball out the back door, but he flicked it, but it did go slightly forward. I've got to agree with Crashley. He was right on the spot. Very fit referee, and it's a forward pass, so I'm afraid fantastic break, but that little bit too fancy from Gerard Samet, but there was no need to do, but you can't knock him because it was wonderful to watch. But slightly forward and the scrum head and feet Hull.
I've got to say, Mark, had he pulled that off and the Bulls had scored the try from that pass alone, I think the crowd would have been on their feet. That was a fantastic piece of skill.
It was. The skill factor there was unbelievable, and that's about the measures and the margins we talked about earlier on in the game, Bernard. And sometimes they come off and sometimes they don't, and that would have been a fantastic try, but it was slightly forward.
Hull come forward. They've certainly seen more of the ball in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but they've yet to penetrate. A very solid, a very compact Bulls defence this afternoon.
Some of the crowd going, but I can't understand that because they complain when the Bradford Bulls lose, yet they're winning. Why not stop to the end and cheer the players on?
They obviously want to get off early, don't they?
Well, they do, but people are very fickle, and incredible it is. Great as they are, the Bradford faithful, but after everything that's going on, you think they just stop for the next 6-7 minutes or so and cheer the fans, the players off the park.
That was a good take from Saltonstall, a high ball in. He took the ball down over inside his own try line, so that'll be a drop kick for
Well, you know,
for the Bulls.
I talked about Lee Rafford getting that tactic out to his team as the day got darker, as well as when the sun was out, to pump that ball into the night sky. I'm a big fan of putting the eyeball in, Bern, because it gives you a better chance of getting it back, and he's done that, and the team have done that. They've listened to him, but it's been done really too late. But Bradford do have to kick out now from putting the ball back. It was a great catch, touching goal was that, when the whole pack was stampeding on the player. The young Saltonstall got the ball down, and but he's given away the drop kick, which he had to do. And let's hope the Bradford Bulls can defend this, because it'd be lovely to go, even off the back of a pre-season friendly, into training tomorrow off the back of a 30 points, should I say, 30 points to nil victory, and should I say also the Hull not scoring, but yet there's time full to do. There's 5 minutes left.
Again, they try to come forward with their first tackle. Sweeping across onto this near side. Down the left-hand side they come, less than 20 metres out. Ball goes to ground. It's Hadley, only 5 metres out. Left of the post. Lovely reverse pass. Hull with a lovely kick through, and there goes the try, the first try for the Bull, for Hull FC. It was a lovely grubber kick from Rankin. In went in the Hull FC player to touchdown, and they finally have their first points on the board.
Yeah, you can see it coming. They're running with venom. Too little, too late for Hull, but they are running with venom, and they ran with some pace and power. The Bradford defended something like 4 or 5 sets of 6 on the trot, 5, maybe even 7 sets of 6 on the trot, and you just cannot do that and without dropping off at some stage, because the tired limbs there, take over. Rankin got the ball onto the right hand side, touched the ball down, conversion to come, Hull 4, and it's what they deserve. But still a great victory for the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from the Bulls at all. But you were right, Mark. I think it was only a matter of time before Hull were going to score, because they had penned the Bulls back for the last 5 or 10 minutes at least. So with the conversion to come, it's kicked, right-footed, over the post it goes. So it's now 30 points to 6.
Yeah, Westerman converting there, and it was going to come, wasn't it? But I hoped it wouldn't have done, because it didn't mean a great deal, does it, in a friendly? But it just would have been something to talk about in training tomorrow amongst the players and the coaching staff. Look, we've nilled the great Hull FC. All right, in a friendly at home, we can build off that. But it's not the end of the world, the fact they've led a try in and defended very, very well. It was bound to come at some stage, and just not quite there.
And I suppose you're always going to be at your most vulnerable near the end of the game, physically and mentally.
Exactly. That's right, and but a great performance from the Bradford Bulls. Let's hope they can finish it off in the last 3 minutes with another try.
The Bulls kick off with Foster, high in the sky it goes, just falls. Well, it's taken on the 10-metre line by Hull. So with 3 minutes to go, the Bulls are heading for a comprehensive victory against Hull FC.
Yes, they are. It looks like a mistake by Hull FC on the 30-metre mark of their own half in the centre of the field, and the Bradford Bulls got into the faces of Hull FC. Great defending from the Bradford Bulls, and I think that's been the hallmark of the victory: enthusiasm and defence. And the defence wins games, and it'll be head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. An infringement there, I think they dropped the ball in actual fact, but it has been Greeks today, to be fair. But it's been the same for both sides.
Yeah, it definitely has. So they can certainly look forward to their next pre-season game against Dewsbury next week, and that will be on BCB 106.6 FM. And I'm certainly looking forward to seeing the Bulls back in action again next weekend, as Hull were coming forward with Stark, and he had a great chance, because he tried to cut in, but he then slipped on the greasy surface.
Ironically, Bernard, on a summer's day, I think he might have scored a try there, because he cut in, didn't he? His sidestep was very, very good.
And great pace as well.
Fantastic pace, and I'm not saying they had the Bradford man beaten there, but he slipped and went on his backside, and there you go. But once the warmer tracks come in summer, then that man has stuck. Hull battling away, but all too late, Bernard, I think.
Well, they're trying to finish strongly. In they come again with the number 22 for the Hull.
Yeah, they've
for the Hull
scored
FC, and they've scored again. And it's Bowden who turned past his marker, crossed over the line, for Hull's second try. So it's now Hull with 10 points on the board, trailing 30-10.
Yeah, and quite frankly, you know, in this last 10 minutes, Hull have looked fast, they look powerful, they've looked good, and that's the sort of determination they should have had earlier on in the game. Bradford looking a bit tired now, and I think they've taken a lot out of Bradford to get these 30 points, and it's a good job they had the good buffer, because another 25 minutes left in this game. It's all ifs and buts and maybes that aren't going to be there, but you know, who knows, Hull might have come back in the game, because that's 2 tries in the space of 4 minutes.
Westerman with the conversion, so 30-12 is now the score, so it's put a slight blot, I suppose, on the performance, hasn't it? Which is a shame, really, but all in all...
Yeah, fantastic performance from Bradford Bull. It's only a friendly, it doesn't really matter. We had just put a slight little blot on the copybook, which nothing great to worry about, and by my reckoning there's about 30 seconds left on the clock, so the Bulls will kick off, and I don't think Hull have got time to score again. I hope they haven't got time to score again.
An excellent kick, which just dropped ahead of the Hull try line, which almost put them in an awkward spot for a moment or two, but they come away with it now. Up to the 20-metre line they come, as the crowd count down for the final hooter, which finally comes. It's been a great start for the Bulls as play continues, because Hull could have a chance of another score here. Coming down the far side, the play is switched in field. They could score their third try down the right hand side. It's a wonderful try for Hull. What a finish for them. They finished with their third try. They're fans in front of me on their feet. Probably the best try of the game.
Probably the best try of the game there. Fantastic try to Hull. From the kick-off, they got the ball, they took 2 tackles, they moved to the right-hand side, they could see Bradford were tired, they saw the gaps in defence, they went through 3 pairs of hands, and the Hull player sprinted some 50 metres over into the far right-hand corner on the open terrace side, touchdown right in the corner with about a metre in from touch. Not what the doctor ordered, and not good for the Bulls. You've got to play for 80 minutes, Byrne, and concentrate, but the victory's theirs. Those did go, but you don't stop the game until the final player has gone out of play. So the ball hadn't, so Hull kept up with that. Bradford Bulls probably dropped off thinking the game had finished, and when Hooter went, and they're just going to concede at least 4 points and maybe 6.
Well, it's strange, because a few moments ago, or 5 minutes ago, when the Bulls hadn't even conceded a goal, we saw people leaving. They're going to be a little surprised when they get home and discover that Hull have scored.
Well, that's exactly what I said.
Potentially 18 points.
I mean, listening to us, if you're home before we go off the air, you're going to say to your wife, well, we won 30-0, or we think we did, and then it's going to be 30 points to 18. Because that ball, that cover just went in off the inside of the post. So 30 points to 18, Bernard. I don't know who the try score that Hull try was there, but it doesn't matter. I think it was a winger. I think it was Tom Stark on the far side there. And good performance from Hull in the last 10 minutes, but it was 70 minutes of the Bulls and 10 minutes